That's all.
This is Carry the G, a show about everything Packers.
We're back! Let's go!
Green Bay Packers! Woo!
And other stuff we love.
Oh, we just like to have some beers and a little tailgating.
Now please welcome the man who carries the G 24/7 from Cheesehead TV, Armen Nagler.
Carry the G Radio is back on your Wisconsin airwaves. Armen Nagler here, coming to you live from New York City, joined by two gentlemen who do not need any introduction, but I will give them one anyway. Bill Schmid, Armen Saryan. We are ready to talk some Packers. What's going on, boys?
Well, as they once said in one of my favorite movies of all time, we are back. We have all back to discuss. We have victories to discuss. We have wins. We get to add Armen Saryan this year to Carry the G Radio, which I think is a tremendous addition. One of my favorites that we've been able to do. And Nags, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us be a part of your radio program, because people want to talk to Armen Nagler about the Green Bay Packers, especially after you beat the brakes off the Detroit Lions like you do. And for you to welcome us in and have us be a part of it, we can't thank you enough. It's so much fun.
Some more than others when it comes to wanting to talk to Armen Nagler about the Green Bay Packers, but I appreciate it.
I want to talk to you right now. I can imagine that.
Appreciate being here. Appreciate another opportunity to hang out with you every week after a Packers victory, or, you know, occasionally. I'm predicting maybe like 3 losses. We're going to have to like eat our vegetables at some point. But this looks like a team ready to go on a run, Billy. This looks like a team that's ready to, I'm not going to say dominate the league, but certainly a team where we talked a lot about it over the course of the offseason, the need to take that step forward as a program. And that certainly felt like kind of the beginning of what we're going to see this year, Sunday against the Lions.
Yeah, in Nags, I thought maybe the most interesting part of the addition of Micah Parsons was what it did to the mathematics of every other player in the Packers ecosystem that we talked about for the last 6 weeks. Right? Like when he makes the statement of, I'm going to make those guys a lot of money, he's talking about the guys in the back end. He's talking about Evan Williams, who already has an interception. Talking about Evan. Who yesterday, Jeff Hafley said, listen, you guys just don't know. My man maybe played his best game with the Green Bay Packers. He didn't have a pick, so no one's going to look at it. But we're going to see a different level of ability for him to disguise and then take advantage. And I thought maybe the craziest part was the cornerback position had been talked about very little after losing a multiple-time All-Pro and bringing in somebody who was unavailable for week 1. And Keyshawn Nixon is a lot of people's pick to click to take a quantum leap forward in his NFL career. And then my man Carrington Valentine plays the way he did on Sunday and just jumps off the film. It was everybody around the inclusion of number 1 that you thought you would feel a different level of. They wanted that game. You get the addition of Parsons, and it was a perfect storm of bad for Detroit and the Honolulu Blue folks.
Well, what was crazy about the Parsons addition, and he's on a pitch count, right? Like he didn't play, 30, 40 snaps. I mean, he was very much on a pitch count, but everything we talked about when the trade happened, right? How it was going to affect the entirety of the defense, especially up front, obviously, it all came to pass. Like everything anyone talked about regarding, well, this just makes everyone's job a lot easier. Certainly he will draw attention each and every down. That all came to pass. You saw that come to fruition pretty much every snap he played, whether he was involved in the play ultimately or not. His gravity, if you will, just opens things up for everybody up front.
And that's rare for it to happen that way, right? Yes. I mean, in terms of,
it's a great theory, but in reality, it very rarely happens.
Like, you know, for a guy coming in with that much hype, I mean, the hype and excitement is at a different level, which it should be, but it's really rare that you can actually live up to that and first, make the literal impact people expect to when you have that much expectation in your first game. But certain guys are special. Certain guys can do it. And he was that guy. This is my favorite reference to make. And Billy always laughs when I make this, but I made it now yesterday. I'm going to do it again, Billy. To what you said about lifting all the boats. It's like when Fonzie came around, everybody felt better. Like everybody felt like now we're superstars. We got Fonzie now. We're untouchable. Now Potsy's tough. Now Richie's tough. Now Ralph Malfa's tough. And he's that guy that lifts everybody's.
That's an amazing analogy, and one that I never would have reached for organically myself, but now that I've heard it, it absolutely illuminates everything on the football field. Outstanding work, Armen.
Okay, so it fits, right? Like everybody, because everybody else is like, oh, anytime we talk about happy days, it's going to work. I want to make sure that it does, because I want a bronze Bonds here in Milwaukee. I'm excited.
I mean, you're skewing to a very particular demographic with that analogy, but I like it. I like it. It's Milwaukee based, I like it. It works. I don't think that's a bad one. It's not one again that I would have reached.
I wouldn't enjoy it. Yeah, if he was in Minneapolis, I wouldn't enjoy it as much.
Probably not.
The thought that he changes the belief that everybody else had.
Yes.
Megs, I put it down and tried to keep thinking about it throughout the last couple of days. Like, if there was a game that the majority of the 53-man roster has wanted to win more collectively than week 1 against the Lions, because going back to last year, and I thought it was a really, really good point made throughout the first couple of days in the reaction, was every single player that would talk into a microphone after the week 14 or 15 game last year said, we want to see them again.
Yes.
And we will beat them again. And we will beat them this time. Like that felt like they were pretty clear cut that they could and would be able to not play with them, but beat them next time that they saw them. And they had to wait 8 months to be able to do it. So you put a pack of hungry dogs waiting and salivating and building to that moment. And then all of a sudden you say, hey, by the way, we're going to put some THC in front of you. Like, for the hungriness, you're saying, all right, all the munchies possible. And they never stopped eating on defense.
Well, I think a big part of that, and I mean a monster part of that, regarding the confidence that they probably had coming off last year, where, they were 1-5 in the division, right? Couldn't defeat any of the top tier teams. But man, how many of those games did they beat themselves? Something they didn't do on Sunday. That was the big kind of question mark for me. I think the talent's there, and it's been undeniable. But so many times last season, especially against those top flight teams, you saw false start penalties, illegal procedure things pre-snap. You saw holding calls. You just saw a litany of mistakes that, the opponent didn't cause. They kept beating them, fumbles on the opening drive, just things that they kept shooting themselves in the foot. And the fact that they played as clean a game as they did on Sunday, though, Billy, I will say, when the very first kick return of the season features a holding penalty, I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go again, Billy. But it was not
a 40-yard return, almost a 40-yard return,
brilliant return by rookie Savion Williams. I did think, oh no, but on balance for that Sunday afternoon, they were clean as hell, way more so than Detroit. And I thought that, again, both teams super talented. The Packers did not beat themselves, and when they don't do that, they're a really formidable side.
Yeah, and that's clearly been one of the biggest issues for the program of the last 3 to 4 years, is getting out of their own way, especially early, right? Like, and I thought we talked about it yesterday and asking, like, who is the most impressive offensive player, and wild card, but maybe my favorite nomination was our friend Jeff Orlowski, the Polish pipe bomb, who said, no, it's Matt LaFleur. Like, and the aggression in which they called the game, and then also took the shots, right? Like the Romeo Doubs first play. They've been waiting to be able to run that against DJ Reed since the Lions signed him, right? Like they wanted, we're going to see if we can beat you right away. And then the 48-yarder to Doubs immediately after, maybe the biggest turning point you're going to find, a 9.5+ minute drive. The
to
Packers
settle for
three.
Right.
The exact drive that seemingly the Packers had twice against the Lions at Lambeau last year in the 24-3 game that we don't want to talk about anymore.
No.
Right? But like the Packers had multiple drives where they drove 10 to 12 plus plays, had to settle for 3. They forced the Lions to do that. And instead of then saying, all right, we're going to beat you at your own game and we're going to grind out the clock here, they said 48-yarder and wheel route to the end zone from number 3 with Jade Reed, and it's over.
2-play drive for 7 points. I think there are 2 kind of fulcrum moments that game swung on. That was the first one, and the second one was Evan Williams stealing points there with the interception. Because that is a decent drive. They are moving the ball, and they're in scoring position there. The fact that he took away at least 3, if not 7, right before halftime, that is such a monster play from Evan Williams. And, of course, it is helped by Parsons shop up front and speeding up the quarterback's clock. How many times did you see Goff throw probably a little early? And I know there was a stat out there where his time to throw dropped almost a full second when Parsons was on the field, to the point where They used a 3-man rush at one point in the red zone, and Goff has plenty of time. He could have done any number of things. He could have waited, just held the ball on the left side there, could have tried to take off and utilize his legs. But instead, because Parsons has already sped up his clock, he hurries a throw for Laporta, who's covered by Evan Williams, and they have to settle for 3. No way that doesn't happen, or it happens without Parsons on the field, because he's got already in his head, I got to get rid of the ball.
I got to get rid of it. I can't allow myself to sit back here and get any bit comfortable. The next gen stats, which Armen loves. Armen loves the next gen stats.
Big next gen stats guy, huh, Armen? I like it.
I love analytics.
2.4 seconds. Negs, it is almost a full second that they get. Like, they get the same amount of pressures, but it's a full second, and it's more than anything. It then flips over the league average, because now Sunday Night Football, they'll throw in there 2.8 seconds league average, 2.8 league seconds or league average to get rid of the football. And to know that Goff's ability to sit back and play 7-on-7 football, he will beat you with the best of them.
Yep.
And for that to be taken away of the comfort zone, also for it to be week 1, and Lions fans have to question, damn, this interior of our offensive line.
Hold up.
Maybe we shouldn't have let Kevin Zeitler go. And why did Frank Ragnow wait till after the draft to tell us that he didn't want to, that he wasn't going to be able to play anymore?
Right.
Like, there's some frustration and some legit questions as to, does that interior take away a little bit of what Detroit's MO was we are going to physically beat you up because our front 5 is better than any other one in football.
You know, I want to talk about, you talk about offensive lines. I want to talk about the Packers offensive line. I want to talk about the job they did against Aiden Hutchinson. The work they did, not just the line, but the tight ends, the backs, the entire protection operation. They completely negated him, absolutely erased him to the point where he was beyond frustrated. You could tell. And yeah, there are a couple moments where he does break through, etc. Of course he is. He's an amazing player. But the fact that he had no real material effect on this football game is crazy to me. Like, it's such an impressive job by all the guys up front, the work Jordan did pre-snap to set things, Matt's game plan, everything kind of coalescing to eliminate one of the best players in the league. It's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, A+ from the pass blocking, I would say, right? I mean, they were fantastic.
Yeah, a blitz pickup too. Yeah,
a lot of great blitz pickups. Some from my guy Brooks as well, Billy.
Yeah, you shout out Brooks right away, and I'm like, damn, let's talk about the $48 million man, Josh Jacobs, sticking his nose in there. But
that's his
Chris
best.
Brooks is on
by the way,
team to do it.
That's the best Josh Jacobs has looked in pass pro. That's the best he's played in that aspect of the game in a green and gold uniform. It was outstanding.
And on a day the running attack couldn't really get going most of the day consistently, he was able to sell that impact. So I thought that was interesting. Great day for the pass blocking. The running game was a struggle. The run blocking wasn't there. I don't know what you guys see there in terms of if that's corollary, if there's an issue there. But I would say if there's one thing, to improve on, that would be it. But overall, pass protection was fantastic.
It really was dynamite.
I think a big component was Detroit keying on the run game, especially early. They were firing those linebackers. They were filling those gaps. They were making sure, okay, look, we know Matt LaFleur wants to run the ball on early downs, especially on first down. They were top 3 in the league running on first down last year. So that's the MO, right? So they kept triggering their linebackers and blocking up a whole lot of the gaps, etc. And yes, it was tough sledding for a good long while there early in the game. But man, I tell you what, second half comes, here was my kind of takeaway from that. It was frustrating early, no question about it. Matt stuck with it for the most part, to the point where I think people got frustrated in the second half when they've got a multi-score lead and he's running the ball and people are like, oh gosh, the Lions could come back at any time. And certainly that is the case. But when they absolutely had to run the ball to salt the game away, they were able to.
They were able to.
Was with a couple backups in there along the line. Tom is out, Banks is out. They got Jordan Morgan and Kennard there at right tackle. And they're still running counter, they're running power, and they're picking up 5-6 yards. Clock is ticking. Masterclass there in the fourth quarter. Absolute masterclass.
Yeah, and I didn't have Kennard with one of the best pulls of the game on my bingo card, but he just
how good did he look?
The
how good did he? His patience, Billy, coming across formation, but setting it up just right timing-wise for Jacobs to pop. I was so impressed with his work, especially what has he been in the building, like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I was going to say shorter
weeks.
time than Malik Willis. And I know people are going to say right tackle different than quarterback. Maybe a little, but very, very close to how difficult it is to have some synchronized to your game to be able to be in that timing. And like you mentioned, the pacing to be able to be there. I also thought in the way Rock said it after the game and during the game and talked about it with, I love when Larry McCarron goes in the locker room, not only because we get to play it all on Packers OT, but because all the players, Nags, want to give him something because they respect the hell out of him.
They respect the hell out of him, of course.
And they call him, either Quay Walker calls him Mr. Larry, which is phenomenal, or, like Tucker Kraft maybe doesn't address him right away and says, Larry, I'm sorry. Like, I got you.
Mr. Larry.
But like, he said it of, there's something to scoring and salting the game away when you have to.
Yep.
Then there's the physical dominance of standing up in the end zone. And when Josh Jacobs stands up in the end zone with 8.5 minutes to go, that was I don't know what you think you're going to do here. This is over. And for the dagger to not need to be thrown there, let Devontae Wyatt do it a couple of plays later with a massive sack. And I know you and I have been high on Wyatt and waiting for him to be able to get up. He hits that Georgia on Georgia crime on Ratledge. Like it was a quit factor on the Detroit sideline, which you needed to see late into the game. Albeit this is not over. Like Detroit's not going to crumble and fold. You're going to need to beat them potentially again to get where you want to go. But to have the seed of doubt put into that crew, because Tucker Kraft said it, he had never beaten Detroit at Lambeau
he did.
in his career. The Detroit Lions core is all about the same age. So they had not lost at Lambeau Field. You needed that to be a statement that finally was made. And I think that's where the full perfect storm does come into effect here. You and I win-loss to the schedule far before anybody else needed to know about it.
June, I believe.
And I think you and I both said this is going to be a 1-1 split. Now to be able to go 2-0 out of this back-to-back in 2 games in 5 days.
Now.
Phenomenal opportunity for the 2025 green and gold.
I mean, and that's the thing, right? We've talked a lot about the game on Sunday, which, of course, I want to marinate in that as long as possible. But we do need to preview this very quick turnaround and the Commanders coming in. The Commanders coming off their own pretty damn impressive victory. That's a game where maybe you look at the score, even the box stuff, and you're like, well, it was somewhat kind of a close contest. No, the Commanders controlled that football game through its entirety. And
that was not
there's certainly like elements to their game that you can pick apart and try and take advantage of, but that was a very convincing victory over the Giants.
As we roll through all the other hot takes that we fired off on Carry the G Radio, the podcast during the offseason, I do believe I said 8.5, 9-1. The Giants to make the playoffs.
It might still happen. Washington's a good outfit, so it doesn't.
A lot of ball game left.
That pass rush is serious. I don't think anybody wants to play the New York Giants if you watch that tape. But Dayton Daniels and company handle it pretty well.
But if it is their defense, I mean, they gave up 420 plus yards, I think, to the Washington Commanders. I'm not saying that it makes them bad. It's only week 1, and there's a lot to be said about this season, but the Washington Commanders did roll up some offense on that.
It speaks to what Washington can do. Also, I mean, I didn't see them having this ground game, and we'll see what Bill is able to do. Their 7th round rookie from Arizona coming up tomorrow night. Wild Bill running wild. It appears on Washington Commanders fan base. But Daniels is one of the more exciting players in all of football. And
unquestionably,
to have Parsons, who Nags again, like you. I feel bad because I do feel like we continually are all going back to the Micah Parsons trade because it is still a little
How do you not?
I don't know how you talk about the Packers without bringing it up.
Right.
But how he played against Daniels a year ago, builds into even more confidence here. I mean, he had, and you look at all of the numbers that he has done against him in his career: 4.5 sacks, 8 different pressures against the Commanders in just 2 games, and over his career, he's recorded 38 pressures against Washington, more than he has generated against any other team. They rebuilt their offensive line in part because of what he had done. I'm excited to be able to see what 56 also does alongside of him, because we went 18, 19 minutes and didn't talk about Edgerrin Cooper. That has not happened in the last 3 days.
I mean, come on. Quay Walker played a hell of a game. I know Edge is always going to get the headlines. I understand that.
Especially when he's walking with that outfit.
100%, like Cowboy Coop. How does he not? But Quay Walker was outstanding, and not just the physical part of it, like running sideline to sideline. He's dropping into coverage, blah, blah, blah. But he's also got the green dot. And you also see him making adjustments at the line to whatever calls Goff is like trying to utilize. And they were a step ahead almost every single time. They did not take advantage of the Packers the way we certainly have seen in the past, Billy.
Uh-huh. And to know that Quay Walker was feeling comfortable and confident bringing the defense to the line of scrimmage and, like you mentioned, making adjustments just before the snap, I think that is a different level of comfortability we've seen of him with the green dot in the defense, right? Like even after a year in the system with Joe Barry, it was okay, hold on one second. Let me make sure. All right.
No, I
think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're lined up. I think we're good. Yesterday it is no, you go here. And that's something that you just see the elevation of the player, trusting the guys around you. Well, and knowing 56 is next to him, and then he's going to be able to just take control of Jahmyr Gibbs and not let him out of a straitjacket. That's probably a little bit easier to call the defense there too.
Absolutely. 1,000%. Excited to dive into this matchup. Excited to talk more Packers football with you guys. We're just starting here on Carry the G Radio. There'll be more with Billy, Armen, and myself.
We're already a preset in your car, I assume.
Preset number 1. Never a doubt.
And we've brought it to the iHeartRadio app.
Simply click the button labeled Preset.
Our station gets anchored to the top of your app.
97.3 The Game. Added.
It's the second week of September, and Iron Jock is basically giving away their polos.
40% off. That's almost half.
Iron Jock polos are 4-way stretch, odor eliminating, and stain resistant. The best, Jerry. The best.
Who's Jerry?
No codes, no secret handshakes. Just add to cart and bask in your savings like it's the 90s again.
But act fast. This ends Sunday. After that, the discount disappears faster than Detroit's playoff hopes.
40% off your Iron Jock polos. Go now.
IronJoc.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Miller High Life. Always flavorful, always refreshing, always at the right price. The champagne of beers. Welcome to the High Life. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Adam Pavlak here. Wednesday afternoons, I'm living the high life with Drew and KB. Thanks to my friends at Miller High Life. The champagne of beers, always flavorful, always refreshing. So join us, raise that bottle, and welcome to the high life.
At Pick and Save, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise on your ingredients with Simple Truth Baby Spring Mix or Roundy's Select Milk, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with private selection baguettes baked fresh in store. Hand it to Pick and Save shoppers. You never compromise. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
I'm sure you've heard plenty of stories of identity theft, maybe even from someone you know, but it's happening so much more than you can imagine. Guess how often identity theft occurs? Ready? Once every 5 seconds. During this commercial, 6 people will have their lives turned upside down. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for identity theft and fixes it guaranteed or your money back. Join now and save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Straight Talk presents the math of more. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
This is how we do it.
Carry the G Radio rolling on this Tuesday afternoon. Sorry, it's a Wednesday. We will be back on Tuesdays on the regular starting next week. But this week, it's a special Wednesday edition previewing Thursday night football. The Commanders coming into Lambeau Field to take on your beloved Green Bay Packers. And Billy, I think the big news, obviously, that we'll be waiting for this afternoon is the release of the final injury report. Speaking of injuries, I want to give a quick shout out to our friends at ThedaCare. They say defense wins championships. In life, ThedaCare is your first line of defense against illness and injury. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay in the game. Proud sponsor of Cheesehead TV and Carry the G Radio, ThedaCare. I tell you what, it's going to need some guys from ThedaCare to check in on Zach Tom and Aaron Banks, because the fact that they are both listed as DNPs the last 2 days. Now, the Packers have only done walkthrough. They haven't really done anything close to a full speed practice. But the fact that their, quote, estimation is did not participate for both of those practices, Billy, doesn't sound good. Doesn't feel good for their chances. And I know Matt LaFleur said we're going to give them right up till kickoff. He used to give Jair Alexander right up till kickoff, and we all know how that went.
That never really worked all that well. Yeah, And I guess I have more of a question about the Banks one than I do the Zach Tom piece. Like, you saw Tom clearly land very awkwardly on the hip. That feels like a clear hip pointer.
Yeah.
You give that a couple of weeks and it'll be probably all good in the neighborhood.
And we got a mini bye here coming off of this
mini
game.
bye coming.
Got a little 10-day window.
I mean, I hate to say this because you are going up against Myles Garrett and they're pros too, but you are playing Cleveland next week, right? Yep. So like there's ways that you can ration out the schedule and feel a little bit okay about it. But the Banks one is just a little bit confounding because there was a back that flares up right when you start the season and now it's a different one. And it's like you can't necessarily get fully out of the woods with the injuries on that side. I do wonder though, what it does for Jordan Morgan, because I think he clearly likes being on the left side of the line more.
Agreed.
And I think
more natural, at least. Yeah,
feels more natural. It looks a little bit more natural. I don't know if you've seen the same thing. Like, it's one of the reasons why I think he looked better at left tackle than maybe some people thought he would at certain times during the preseason. So I'm okay with the replacement situation at left guard a lot more than I am at right tackle. Albeit Kennard played well, so maybe I should quell my concerns over there at the right side. But this is a real unit that you're playing.
I think it's totally natural to be concerned with a guy who has not been in the building for a very long time and was a deep reserve to the point where they felt they being the Eagles, well, we're fine giving giving this kid
winner though.
100%.
Winner though
has only ever won championships in his time in the NFL. So clearly, what we're talking about here is right tackle wins. Like
right tackles win.
I can't be, all up in my grill about the fact that their quarterback wins and losses are not a stat, and then start to give this kid a tackle win.
What are you talking about? The 9th string offensive lineman doesn't impact winning to that level.
I'm just saying,
guard wins are not a stat.
Right guard wins are not a stat.
You know
correct.
What? You know what though? That is part of it. I mean, he has found the correct team. And if nothing else, hopefully his nose for success.
Could that be predictive?
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what we're hoping for, that it's a predictive.
Clearly predictive.
But it's tough with Thursday night games, especially this early in the year, right? Because there is nothing predictive. I mean, nothing, but there is so little that you can predict about performance. So we're liable to see anything happen tomorrow night.
It also is a spot in which the Packers should, and I think still are, very okay with all of the depth pieces that they have in the building, even though you make the trade for Kennard because you didn't clearly feel good enough about right tackle if indeed something like this came up. And I think this is just the second time to give the shout out in back-to-back years where week 2, potentially a starter is acquired at
the last
cutdown
second,
day,
right?
At the last second of the roster building, when
who plays
Goody
a significant role in week 2,
right? I mean, like
wrong, man.
plays right away in week 2 that joins the team right as cutdown day commences. Like that's pretty hilarious if it does play out that way. Hopefully it's the same result as a year ago.
Interesting. It's almost like Brian Gutekunst, Richmond Williams, all the folks in the pro personnel department know what the hell they're doing. I don't know. Call me crazy. I know there's a lot of Twitter GMs out there who say Gutekunst sucks, but it's almost like Gutekunst knows what he's doing. I don't know, Billy. Call me crazy.
Seems like it. It almost seems like it. And it also seems like that they have finally been able to get one of these things by the across the finish line. So everybody that was screaming and clamoring, which I think is fair. I actually do think it's kind of fair to say, when you put it out there, it's time to start competing for championships. Let's act with that urgency. And they kind of had, like, especially the rap sheet article. I don't know how you guys felt about it, or rap sheet piece that comes out right before games. I love that.
It's always that Sunday morning. Everyone's we know everyone's waiting for kickoff.
We have to. Yeah, we're waiting for kickoff. We're waiting until the trade commences to tell you about all of this stuff that I knew. I had this a week ago. We knew that this.
It's either that or Jay Glazer dropping something on Fox Sunday morning.
We knew the trade package was agreed to 48 hours before, but nobody wants to say anything because we hadn't been told by the agent that we could say something. So when we hold some of this information, it doesn't give a true understanding as to the Packers were trying to trade for Trey Hendrickson.
Yep.
Reportedly felt like they kind of had a deal almost done.
They had it in the bag.
And then all of a sudden it's a recant on the other side. And then now we want Kenny Clark. And then as different things change and players change, the target changes, what the price you're willing to pay will change. So I think as we do like to just simply say, as we carry the G right here on this program.
Always.
I think we look at the G as what it has always been, in that it only will operate in a certain being with Green Bay Packers Incorporated, and not fully believing in the fact that there are different iterations of it. And I think Brian Gutekunst is a different iteration of the decision maker he was when he first got the job, which is something in a luxury rarely you're able to have, Nags,
stay
in
that long.
position.
Right, exactly. But even going back to 2018, he was in on Khalil Mack.
He was in on Khalil Mack, yes.
They being the Chargers, they drove that to the team they wanted because they thought the Bears were going to be a lot worse than the Packers. You know, like at some point, you can only control what you can control as a GM, as a personnel person. It's just like this idea that they're not trying, because there were people on airwaves other than your own, Billy, saying that, Brian Gutekunst is just satisfied with winning regular season football games. He's not interested in winning a championship. I hope that stuff has been put to rest forever.
Is that when they pitched the chairs outside of George Webb's?
You know what? That might have been that. I don't really
might
know.
have been.
I don't like to pay too much attention to that. But you know what? It's funny because why would he be satisfied with that? Why wouldn't he want to?
Because, Armen, he's just happy to be making money.
Just doing it.
Well,
being a GM who never has to win a championship. Apparently,
what's worse for everybody that can play GM now? Is it the fact that all 22 is available for everybody, or the fact that everyone?
Don't get me started.
But however, this is the most Madden-like trade that we had made. I'll say that. But you're right. It does feel like Goody is still fighting against the idea that Ted Thompson's reputation is still perceived. But it's not. Just because Ted Thompson had their reputation earned doesn't mean Goody has operated that way. I mean, you mentioned being in on Mac. all the moves they made in 19 when they got to Darius and Preston and Adrian Amos, those were aggressive moves.
Yep.
So that he's done, I think, his share of moves, not to mention then it was X and Jacobs. And now this one too. He's shown a willingness to try and be aggressive to help this team.
And even if it doesn't get across the finish line, I think is the way that you can put it. Like, think of the other guys that they've been at least in on that Packers fans wanted. I'm not going to enter Will Fuller's name into the conversation. But like in 2021, I was
Packers fans wanted him too.
Wanted Will Fuller. I was
Lord.
pretty adamant that in 2021,
Right.
if you put Odell Beckham Jr. on this football team, they go to the Super Bowl.
I was in on that, no doubt.
And the Packers were in the conversation. Now, whether or not they had the money, whether or not they wanted to spend the money, that's neither here nor there, but they were in the conversation. They were also in the conversation, thought they had the right package for another guy Packers fans really, really wanted, who's now out of football, Chase Claypool. Right? Like, so there's a number of different times that they've been in the mix and they've been close, but sometimes it's been their own doing where it's like, yeah, we're not budging on this price.
Yeah.
So it's when Brian says, I don't believe in we're one player away. I don't believe in that philosophy, but you change thoughts and you change perspective and business strategies when certain players become available.
Well,
I think
special
that was
blue
maybe
chip once in a lifetime opportunity type players. Yeah, that's a little different.
And Nags, when I think the part of it comes into the lack of success they've had drafting defensive players in the first round.
Well, there you go. Now there's the key, right? Anytime you're making a trade or signing someone free agency, not every single time, but a lot of the time, you are acquiescing to the idea that you missed something in the draft. And Parsons erases what was starting to look like a swing and a miss on LVN, although I thought LVN played very well on Sunday against the Lions. You know, like that's
playing him out of position where
it's
he
an
was good in
admission
college.
to, okay, we kind of missed there. When they signed Josh Jacobs, we kind of missed on A.J. Dillon. When they signed Xavier McKinney, that's what we missed on Darnell Savage. That's what those things should be, whether it is trades, whether it is free agency. They are still a draft and develop program. That is the lifeblood of everything they do. But yes, Brian has done an excellent job of understanding, okay, we kind of missed here. I have to shore that up and use every avenue available to him to make that happen.
Yeah, and we said it a number of different ways, and I'd say it's 6 ways to Sunday. I think there's a different type of urgency that people operate with when there's new management. Does not mean new management tells you and directs you to do something.
Right.
But you try to validate what your job status, right? You try to validate, hey, look what we're doing right here. I'm getting you Micah Parsons. And again, it's not that it's a forced thing, and it's never a bad thing for people to have to work with a little sense of urgency. That's not a bad thing for people to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You hear football coaches say that all the time, and especially in pro football, you have to learn how to be and operate comfortably while being uncomfortable. That's a good spot, I think, for the Packers personnel group to be in, where there is, again, you've put the urgency on yourself. You've put together too good of a football team to not believe that you're within the top 8. Now make a move that puts you at the floor, seemingly top 5 or 4 in the grouping, and get yourself to the conference title round and see what happens again.
I do want to address some folks there in the YouTube chat, people joining us on Cheesehead TV's YouTube channel. Somebody asking about how long we're going. Oh, they always go an hour. I know it feels like we only go an hour because things fly by each and every week when we do Carry the G Radio because things are so fun. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are 2 hours each and every week. We'll be 2 hours today. So stick around, hang out with us, crack open a Carry the G if you got one around you.
And frankly, crack open a Carry the G because Armen and I were talking about it. Like there's a lot of different, there was a time and place when craft beer was
there you go.
Way up
there
here. And all anybody wanted to talk to you about was you're not drinking the right kind of beer.
Oh,
you're not drinking. This isn't the
Army was out there for a good portion.
And they were loud, Armen.
From 2008 to like 14. I mean, when you were, what are you drinking?
Oh my goodness, really?
Right,
that?
Yeah, you don't have that. What kind of notes are in that beer?
Even the snobbiest of snob IPA guys take a sip of Carry the G and they're like, go back up.
Yeah,
it's as quickly as that flips your thought process.
It's that simple. It's
often
that simple. Really
imitated. Apparently, often imitates.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, isn't it?
Will
It is
not
apparent.
be duplicated. Will not be duplicated.
We'll be talking about that on Packer Transplants Live later this afternoon on the
I had a
TNF
feeling.
YouTube
Yeah, I had a feeling somebody was going to have a statement about it, and
I'm
I
gonna save those
wait
takes.
for
But
Banky
we
to
will
be
certainly
about
be
that.
addressing flattery. I
That's
guess you can't call it anything but flattery, right? I'm flattered.
Imitation is the best form of flattery.
All I'll say
That's
right
what
now,
I
though,
always said to people when I would do imitations of them. It's because I truly love it.
I'll say right now, though.
Okay.
I'll only say this: Carry the G now has a great way to accent what you're doing by grabbing yourself a Luigi's frozen pizza.
Yes.
What is better than pizza and beer? You can't beat that combo. I mean, it is an ultimate combo. And if you got a Luigi's near you in some kind of grocery store, Quick Trip, wherever you find it, grab it, take it home, heat it up. It's going to be delicious. I guarantee it. And then you crack open your Carry the G and you say, go Pack.
And you say, go Pack, go. It's crazy because you will have a burp. Like that will give you a good indigestion. And when you burp, you'll burp out go Pack, go. It's
Go
pretty
Pack,
incredible.
go will just
Scientific.
escape out of your body. That's how that rolls. Absolutely. I love it. Man, did we even preview this game at all? We talked about the injuries, but we really
Luckily,
didn't
we got a lot of time.
dive into the game yet. So we'll obviously be doing that on the flip side. And as I mentioned, we're live on YouTube. Hit us up there. Hit us up on Twitter. We're hanging out here, 97.3 The Game, Cheesehead TV. It's Carry the G Radio each and every week throughout the football season. Talk to you on the flip side.
Drew and KB here. Join us for another football feast. It's Wednesday this week. We'll be at the Buffalo Wild Wings location on Oneida Street in the shadow of historic Lambeau Field.
And we're going to give you a chance to win tickets to watch Green Bay play Washington.
Join us at 2, Drew and KB.
Get ready to show your Packers spirit in a whole new way by turning Lambeau Field into a winter warning. Green Bay fans unite and wear white. Match the players' white gear and let's show the Washington Commanders and everyone else a fury of white when they step onto the frozen tundra. Make sure your fit is white from head to toe with the Green Bay Packers Winter Warning Collection. Available now at the Packers Pro Shop or at PackersProShop.com.
KB here. One of the most important things to be successful at losing weight is having a great support group. And with Milwaukee Weight Loss, you've got one of the best. They monitor my daily progress and help me through those roadblocks that would always make me give up before. They keep me focused on the end goal and provide me with the tools I need to keep going. Now, I've done other weight loss programs, but this is the only program I've stuck to for this long. Their doctor-developed program makes weight loss fast, natural, and safe. No drugs, no injections, no prepackaged meals, and no exercise. The program resets your metabolism so you keep the weight off for good. And here's the best part. It costs up to half as much and works twice as fast as most other programs. In fact, many people lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or two. That's up to a pound a day. So don't wait. Schedule your free consultation now at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com or call 262-433-4008. That's 262-433-4008. And tell them KB sent you. Results may vary.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey, sports fans! Game day is calling, but what about your dog? Skip the guilt and score a win for your pup at Canine Resorts of Brookfield. While you're cheering in the stands or on the couch, your dog's living it up with playtime, pampering, and plenty of tail-wagging fun. From daycare to overnight stays, Canine Resorts of Brookfield treats your four-legged MVP like a champion. Visit canineresorts.com/Brookfield to learn more, because your dog deserves a weekend victory too. Canine Resorts of Brookfield, a 5-star experience where love and fun is included.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce affects every part of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 111 East Kilburn, Milwaukee.
People can't stop screaming about Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. And no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's frozen aisle and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian Holy Pepperoni Frozen Pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screaming is about.
As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
When you stay in your home, what you love gets to stay too. From the gardens that grow wild to the grandkids that run wilder. From the Friday night baseball games to the Sunday morning brunches. Even the daily crosswords and weekly book clubs. There's room for it all with help from Home Instead, the largest in-home senior care network with over 30 years of trusted experience delivering the peace of mind you deserve. Visit Home Instead online for a better what's next.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a few spotty showers or sprinkles possible, but most areas will remain dry. High temperatures will range from the low to mid 70s with a south wind early, transitioning to the east out of the afternoon. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Lisa Michaels.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association and Durana Hybrid, where the roar of the engine meets the torque of the wrench. IHRA and Durana Hybrid are bringing back the thrill of racing and the pride of skilled trades. Through mentorship and education, we're fueling the future. On the track and in the trade. Get your tickets at IHRA.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. If you get injured, it's Nicolay time.
Care the G Radio coming at you? Is that what we're doing here? We're doing Care the G Radio on Tuesdays, usually Wednesday today. Bill Schmid, Armen Saryan. We're talking about not only the Green Bay Packers being 1-0, not only facing a Commanders team that comes in here also riding on a high after their Week 1 victory, but we're talking about a extension for wide receiver Christian Watson.
That's something else.
Last night was reported. Packers made it official this morning. I love this move, Billy. A little over $13 million for 1 year. I mean, that's well below what receivers are getting on the 5th-year option. If he had been a first-round pick, that's undoubtedly what would have happened. Man, love the fact that this kid can come in now off the PUP, which hopefully, he gets on the field sooner rather than later. There's no guarantee, but he's certainly been ahead of schedule in everything we've seen throughout the offseason and training camp, etc. Man, the idea of getting him into this offense with Golden and Watson and everything else they got going on, he could put up some numbers, man, and making next year a bit of a steal. So yeah, I love the idea of, okay, let's just make sure that he's taken care of and set to hopefully go on a run where, yeah, young man, help yourself. Stay on the field, ball out, score touchdowns, do Lambeau leaps, and hopefully you do a lot of that next year as well, and then we pay you big time and a big commitment.
Yeah, and that's where I said, like, the absolute goal and how you talk about it in the sale is we hope that we are announcing something on September 11th of 2026. Right? Like, you have to wait the full 365 days before you make another commitment to a young man on a contract extension. And that's what you hope. You hope that he is able to validate and feel confident enough in all of his rehab to not rush anything. But from what we've seen at the practice on the practice field, and we can only you cannot document what injured players are doing in the rehab.
You're not
group.
allowed to. You're not
However, you can look and say, like, that cat looks really good for a dude 8 months off of an ACL, right? Like, and watching him run right in front of us for the majority of the time, it was kind of dumbfounding for how good he looked running. And Armen, when you're up there, like, it was almost hard to not say it. Like, he looked so confident in his striding ability. And again, he's running a straight line. It's a lot easier, but like, you don't have to force him to feel like he needs to force himself onto the field. And to your point, I mean, 33 games for Jameson Williams, 83 catches, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. Christian Watson in 38 games has 98 grabs, 1,650, and 17 total touchdowns. Jameson Williams is 3 years, $83 million. We don't know the guarantee on Watson. Correct me if I'm wrong there. I think it's mostly probably guaranteed. But that's a massive bargain for what guys around him would be making. And again, then you just hope that you're able to double it up and make him a bunch more money and a multi-millionaire in 1 year from tomorrow.
And it's way more than just the numbers. Obviously, I know Packers fans get frustrated because he has been in and out of the lineup with injuries. But the scoring splits when he's on the field versus off, the idea of the kind of player he is. When you're talking about the beginning of last year, that first 2-3 week stretch where I remember people kind of, well, where's Christian Watson? He's not only is he not producing, he's not being targeted. You never heard a word from Watson. All he did was go out there, block his ass off in the running game, get himself open, caught a touchdown down there in Brazil, but never a peep of complaint. That's pretty anathema to how wide receivers operate in the NFL in 2025. But this kid just comes to work, balls out, does everything asked of him, and never complains. I love Christian Watson. I love him on this team, and I love this deal.
And you mentioned and we talked about it earlier a little bit, Billy, but you mentioned the fact that the splits when he's on and off the field, the impact he makes in the offense success beyond the numbers, beyond the counting stats. He can still puncture the top of a defense, and the Packers obviously care about trying to get explosive plays, prevent explosive plays. That's an important part of winning the NFL. And they recognize his unique ability and skill set to help do that, whether it's him or somebody else, to help puncture the top of the defense and create those type of plays. And I think that his impact, while it might not be obvious to the naked eye sometimes or in the stat, the box score, it's there, and you can see it when you look at some of the other numbers.
Zero question. And just the way defenses operate when he's present and not. And now, man, I'm telling you, obviously it's not a direct correlation. It's not a direct line, but I'm telling you, Billy, when you use Christian Watson and Matthew Golden in Madden, you're killing people. I am killing fools online with Watson and Golden together.
Yeah, mesh
in real life.
Mesh spot is almost unbeatable with those two guys. There's no way you can guard it,
especially against those dudes who like to take control of the middle linebacker, and they're trying to take away everything in the middle, and they do it by hand. Like, they're controlling the dude. It's like, okay, which one are you going to pick? Because I'm throwing to the other one.
God,
and then they're gone.
Man, you're just systematically destroying the user's confidence at that point.
Totally. I mean,
you understand how
headsets? I mean, they're.
Oh my God!
This is why I control defensive. This is why I control defensive linemen. Let the coverage do it. I'm just going to get after the quarterback.
Well, you also like to win games where they're actually won and lost in the trenches. But to the point of what you, Armen, with the puncture, I think that's a great way of putting it. The top of the defense being able to take the top off and take legit shots at them. How badly the Packers missed it a year ago, how much they roster-wise in their construction said, we will not go another game, especially a playoff game, without a deep threat like that. We're going to draft another one in the first round. It just doubled up on the importance of that field stretcher being a game tilter in this offense. And I love the fact that Watson also gets doubled up on nobody blocks harder than he does.
Oh, dude. He is phenomenal in the run game. You talk about throwing guys out the club. The all 20. You're talking about the all 22 earlier. If you really want to watch what you should be watching on all 22, watch any game where Christian Watson is on the field blocking in the perimeter of the run game. It is enjoyable. It's so fun. It is a good time.
And there was one play that you would watch in college, and they have done it in the NFL, where just how you move the different, like, Mike linebacker, this is the really weedy, nerdy stuff. He can then have to go and block the safety. And when the safety realizes that he's about to get blocked by Christian Watson, there's the moment where he's standing there and he's like, son of It's like LeBron when he looks back and sees Kawhi Leonard walking into the game in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. He's like, son of a... Just like Laramie Tunsil's going to be looking over at the sideline saying, Parsons is coming back in.
Right. Can't wait. Can't wait to watch all of it. We will be previewing Thursday night's game on the flip side here. Hour 2, another hour. We just did an hour, Billy. And now we're ready to do another hour of Carry the G Radio. We are so back. I am so happy to be back with you guys.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
At Pick and Save, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise on your ingredients with Simple Truth Baby Spring Mix or Roundy's Select Milk, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with Private Selection baguettes baked fresh in store. Hand it to Pick and Save shoppers. You never compromise. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
Jason, what are you singing? Working on a new jingle to promote Capital's $49 drain clearing. When your sink fills up with gunk, don't stress, don't whine. It's only $49. Don't take this the wrong way, man, but I'd stick to plumbing, heating, and cooling if I were you. That's fair, but people need to know that we clear clogs for only $49. Fine, but I would have rhymed gunk with junk. It's so obvious.
Call CapitalCares.com.
Miller High Life. Always flavorful, always refreshing, always at the right price. The champagne of beers. Welcome to the High Life. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Adam Pavlak here. Wednesday afternoons, I'm living the high life with Drew and KB. Thanks to my friends at Miller High Life. The champagne of beers, always flavorful, always refreshing. So join us, raise that bottle, and welcome to the high life.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and 0 weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder. Caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
This is Carry the G, a show about everything Packers.
Let's go!
Green Bay Packers, woo!
And other stuff we love.
Oh, we just like to have some beers and a little tailgating.
Now please welcome the man who carries the G 24/7 from Cheesehead TV, Aaron Nagler.
Carry the G Radio Hour 2 coming at you. Bill Schmid, Armen Saryan, and myself talking about this big-time Week 2 matchup between the Washington Commanders and your beloved Green Bay Packers. Billy, you can't talk about this game. You cannot talk about this matchup. You cannot talk about this Commanders team without talking about threat A number 1, Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
This kid is for real and a real problem. And I know I've already heard a lot about how, he can kill you with his legs and he's looking to run. And you got to be a lot more disciplined when it comes to your rush lanes. We saw Packers won a lot against the Lions going inside, right? You do that this week, he could really, really hurt you, but not just with his legs. I feel like people do him a disservice when they talk about, yes, he absolutely can run the ball. But this kid is an absolute assassin outside the pocket with his arm. He doesn't just look to run. He keeps his eyes downfield, and he can put the ball pretty much anywhere he wants. This is a serious test for the Green Bay Packers defense.
Jaden Daniels, to me, and watching him, and did not give nearly enough credit coming out in the draft process, because I did one of the laziest and one of the things that I hate the absolute most when critiquing players. I'm like, I just don't see how this guy stays healthy, because I don't know that I've ever seen Jaden Daniels in a game that he has played not get split in half. Like, he takes some of the biggest shots in football.
He's a wiry looking dude too.
And he's a wiry looking guy. He's like, maybe they just all look worse because of how thin he is and how tall he is. But like, you watch, I've watched almost every single game Lamar Jackson's ever played.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen him take a big
Never
hit.
takes that type of hit, ever.
Never takes a big hit.
Yeah.
And every game there's a shot where Jaden Daniels is getting rocked in the back by a linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Like, so he puts himself in difficult positions to, longevity-wise, I hope he continues to be able to play this well, because he is so fun to watch. In that dynamicness. He's got the speed and the sudden burst to run with the best of them. But like, Michael Vick never got the credit for what he did being able to throw the football. He threw a gorgeous deep ball, but his short to intermediate passes left a lot to be desired. Daniel's short to intermediate routes are some of the best that you're going to find, and he confidently can throw wherever he is. Like, he's one of the rare dudes that can and will hurt you outside of the pocket, but is still, when he gets out of the pocket, looking to throw the ball down the field.
And one thing that really helps a young quarterback, whether he is a rookie or in second year, as Daniels is obviously a strong running game, which you saw Washington was very effective on the ground. I don't know that I'm going to sit here and say they're going to run all over the Packers. I mean, a lot of people thought the Detroit Lions were going to run all over the Packers.
Great point,
and they ended the game 2.2 yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that we're going to shut them down or anything like that. I think the Packers are better suited to stop the run than maybe a lot of people thought coming into this season. And I understand the loss of Kenny Clark is legit. That's an issue. That's something you're not replacing him one for one. You're definitely doing it in the aggregate with all these young guys. But I tell you what, all those young guys played a hell of a game against the Lions. And the work they did just to keep the linebackers free, to make those sideline to sideline kind of run down tackles, the way they flowed to the football. You watch the All-22, you see just seas of green jerseys flying to the ball. Man, I'm not saying they're going to shut down the Commanders' run game, but I feel a lot better after that Week 1 performance against a team that has run the ball effectively against the Packers for years.
Yeah, population of the ball, right, is something we saw a lot over social media now. It's, X's and O's, but it's Jimmy's and Joe's too. You got to have the wants, you got to have the desire to go after it. And it seemed like that boost was there for the Packers this week. I think the challenge is, to sustain that emotional lift into executing, playing, and play out, which you have to have a lot of confidence in, I think. You talk about some of the guys up front. We talked about White a lot. But Quay Walker had a really good game. I know some commenters posting about it here on YouTube, the way he handled the defense. So hopefully we see more of that, guys.
Yeah, and when you got a guy like Edrin Cooper who's able to corral one of the most explosive players in ball, in Jahmyr Gibbs, the way that he, pardon the pun with the cowboy coop, the way he just threw the saddle on him and was not allowing him to go wherever he wanted. There's one play, Nags, where it's onto the near sideline where we're at on the Packers sideline, way up. My son goes, Daddy's on the roof. Not far away. But like you're watching.
It can feel like that sometimes, no doubt.
It's kind of close too. But on the near side, and Cooper is 5 yards away, and like a boxer standing in the middle of the ring, just like 1-2, just subtle taps the feet, like, where you think you're getting from? Where do you think you're going here? I got a friend right here on the sideline.
Yes.
There's no way you're getting inside of me right now. And then just jumps on his back and takes him to the ground. There's a physicality that you have to play within the run game when you're going to be a little bit maybe undersized. Maybe a little undersized, especially a little light in the pants up front when you're talking about like a Colby Wooden at just at 300 pounds.
And that's after he put on weight.
That's after he put on weight.
Right.
And it was good weight because you needed all of it. It felt this weekend, but you need to then be able to physically just frustrate people. And that part of the aggression that they saw, Armen said population of the ball. I know Jeff Hafley is going to stress that, but I also think LaFleur's talked about it every single time.
For years, right?
For years.
We talk play style. What does he want to see? 11 hats to the ball. He's talked about that forever.
And it seems like Nags every time that he has to change coordinator is when like you hear it again. This time towards the end of last year, Hafley said this yesterday a little bit at his availability. Beginning last year, you started to see it shift later into the season of the hats to the football.
Yes.
But when you're as confident and eager to get on the field like this group was, I don't think it's surprising that you saw so many hats flying to the football like you did earlier on.
It's going to be very interesting how many different looks the Commanders present to this defense, because it really didn't feel like the Lions got in their bag big time, the way we've certainly seen them in the past use a lot of different misdirection, exotic stuff. They were pretty straightforward. They tried some of the screen game that really gave the Packers problems last year, but I thought Hafley did a phenomenal job of switching up the fact that he blitzed the Lions more last year than any other team. Both times they faced them, he was trying to send pressure. Now, some of that's because he can't get home with 4. You got to generate it somehow, and he got burned quite a bit by Ben Johnson last season. This game on Sunday, I mean, depending on who you're talking to, they ran either like 3 or maybe 4 blitzes. Now, some of them are obvious with like corner blitz. You saw that coming up that right side. But predominantly, they just have eyes on the ball. They have eyes on the quarterback, and they're rushing 4. And the way they're able to operate because of Micah Parsons when he's on the field, it feels like a cheat code. It really does. The idea being he wins so quickly. You saw how many times, obviously the Evan Williams interception is the clear kind of poster child for what you're looking for. But how many times did you see defensive backs arriving just as the ball did for a pass breakup and near interceptions? Because they can play on the balls of their feet and they have vision on the quarterback. That quarterback's clock gets sped up because Parsons is all of a sudden winning inside and you got to get rid of the ball. Man, this secondary has got to be licking their chops. Got to be licking their chops for all the things that Parsons can do. And look, as you said, he was pretty damn successful against the Commanders last season. It ain't like he ain't familiar with this squad.
Yeah, and they have a couple of different pieces on their offensive line. They draft the right tackle. Well, he was a left tackle. They drafted him as, and then he wins the right tackle job, Connolly, because he was that good at Oregon and seemingly that good in camp. Tunzel is one of the most respected players at the position for good reason. Yes. However, he is as hit or miss as any great player I've ever seen. Does that make sense, Nags? Like there's sometimes 100%. You'll watch him and be like, I don't care if Lawrence Taylor and JJ Watt are blitzing this guy. There's no way he's giving up a pressure. And then there's other times you're like, man, what are you doing? Like, there's a lack of focus sometimes, it would almost feel like. But he looked awesome in game 1 for the Commanders, especially there's a pull that he has on a toss off to the left side with Samuel where he is just escorting him into the end zone. So they have a good unit up front, and they want to run the ball significantly, and they have a couple of weapons that would allow you to think laterally they're going to stress teams. Laterally, sideline to sideline, I think is where the Packers are probably going to be best suited. That's going to be where they're strongest against the run right now. And we feel like over the last number of months and number of years that there's kind of a blueprint for what you want on defense and what will win in the NFL. And that 2020 NFC title game where it's Levante David and Devin White going sideline to sideline, wreaking havoc, and you being able to not run against a nickel defense the entire night is kind of the way to play. And finally, it appears like the Packers have their 2 guys in there. I don't know that they're going to be as great as those guys. One of them's HOF. Levante David's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Devin White's out of football. So, like, you could be in a spot where one of the 2 continues to ascend and the other one's maybe there. But right now, at the peak of their power, seems like that's the outfit that they've been shooting for and maybe have achieved.
Yeah, very much agreed. And to your point, are they those guys? No, of course not. But the design of the defense certainly helps them do exactly what you're talking about, flowing to the ball, sideline to sideline. And as a play caller, you've got to be frustrated because zero doubt, you want to take advantage of the fact that, they're in nickel. But when you're that athletic and you're explosive at the linebacker spot, it's hard to find alleys. It's hard to create like spots where you can get a guy in space where he's not going to get run down by one of these guys. Now, that said, look, like I said, they were very successful on the ground against the Giants. And I do think they're going to want to lean. You mentioned Samuel. He looked revitalized on Sunday against the Giants. He looked
thinner.
A little
crazy
bit,
how that happens.
It happens. It's certainly no joke, no doubt. But I mean, that's a player that's still got a bunch of talent who I think they're going to want to utilize him in a lot of different ways to try and get the Packers to commit numbers and try to pull up the defense, and then take that shot to McLaurin. We saw Daniels really successful with that at times last year. I think to me, that's what you're 100% guarding against because they want you to come up, commit numbers, and then take that shot.
Am I off base on how much of a Packer killer Deebo Samuel has been in his career?
It's not been inconsiderate, sir.
Right, like I mean, maybe it's just the play that I'm thinking of in the 2021 playoff game, but there's a number of different times this dude has had big time games against the Packers. Maybe it's mostly just because beating him a whole hell of a lot in opportunities that he's been onto the field, but he's a guy that will stress a bunch of different ways, and I think Kingsbury being able to be the play caller for them,
very inventive with
very
how
much
he can utilize his personnel, zero question.
I also don't like playing against Dan Quinn style defenses because even though the last time the Packers played
Matt LaFleur's got something for that. Points. I mean, he's been pretty successful against Dan Quinn.
We had somebody call it
an issue.
We had somebody shoot us a message yesterday that said last time they did play a Dan Quinn defense, it was a 45-point outburst. So I think he predicted 42-17.
Yeah, they did. They dominated that one.
Oh no, I mean, I'd love that. I don't know if I'm ready to go 42-17, but I would absolutely love that.
Only because it's Thursday night, then the high scoring might not happen. Otherwise, come on, where are the vibes at? High vibes. All the way. Well, the other thing I will say,
no analysis, just vibes. That's the mantra of this show. 100%.
They do have, they still have Austin Eckler, which, isn't what he used to be, but if he's basically their third running back now, and the key is
not full skeletal remains. Yeah.
And the key is if I start him on my fantasy team, he'll have a terrible game.
Yeah.
So that's what I got
to do.
So
you're starting him is what you're saying.
I absolutely will do anything it takes to help the Green Bay Packers. So
you know what I did? You know what I did on Sunday? Last minute insertion of Jaden Reed. Scores a touchdown. Absolutely love it. Problem was I already had Matthew Gold in the starting lineup who did only 2 catches. This is the problem when you lean into the Packers.
You say, will you start every Packer or
not everyone? I didn't have everybody in the lineup, but I had a number of Jordan Love's my quarterback. It's like I got to do it. I got to do it.
You got to.
Otherwise,
David McKinney on IDP. It's how I roll.
I like that you're playing the IDP league. All right,
because play IDP, man.
All right, because we heard Micah Parsons say that he had Edgerrin Cooper as his IDP.
It's the way to go, man.
Himself 36 points. I consider myself a fantasy football junkie. I'm in 0 leagues with an IDP. I'm gonna have to ditch leagues to be able to get in one with an IDP.
You got to, man.
Because that sounds way too much fun to be able to have somebody on that side. I also think that when you have a linebacking core similar to the Packers, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to be able to cash in on that IDP player.
Well, that's the thing too. Like on bad defenses, you want safeties because they're cleaning stuff up, right? But on good defenses, which I'm not used to the Packers having,
that's fair.
On good defenses, you oftentimes want a linebacker. You want linebackers who are active and getting a ton of tackles, and Cooper certainly does that. But yeah, McKinney's still great because of all the interceptions he had last year. I'm sure he'll have a few as we go forward here.
So did you agree with Jeff Hafley's assessment yesterday? Because he said, just because he didn't have an interception, so you guys will say he didn't play that well. I think he played as well as he's played as a Packer.
I'll tell you what, I thought he had a good game. Let's call it even a great game. I thought Evan Williams was better. I thought Evan Williams played his best game as a member of the Green Bay Packers. And it's not because of the interception. I'm talking about down in, down out all game long. Evan was outstanding. And the fact that we get those two together after the vast desert that we had at the safety position for essentially like forever, like that to me, it's just, it's one of those kind of pinch yourself moments because I can't believe we have 2 viable safeties, let alone 1.
Yeah, since the other guy wearing the 33 was playing in the back end, you felt confident in the second guy for sure. And like I thought watching a little bit of it back from last year in Detroit, that's the game where he is out. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Zane Anderson plays the majority of the game and actually played well.
Yes.
Played well.
Zane played very well last year in relief. And then he got hurt in that Vikings game.
But you heard Matt LaFleur in the offseason and at the end of the year say, like, we need to have Evan on the field, right? Like, so when they go to the UW Sports Performance Hospital and get all the hamstring answers, it's because we got to figure out, scientifically what's wrong with you. And then also you got to put in the work to have your body at its peak performance. And I thought knowing what you saw in the game last year, I think the Lions ran that same route 4 times. Like they ran that same play 4 times last year.
Yep,
and I can imagine Williams was chomping at the bit to be able to get a rep at it when he watched on the sideline say, somebody needs to do something about this. Somebody needs to do something about this. Somebody needs to do something about this. And ultimately he's the one to be able to make the play. It's a lot of film study. It's a lot of diagnosing and trusting what you've watched and trusting what you believe is going to go. That's bread and butter for Detroit and being able to take some of it away. We've talked a lot about it with Parsons. But it does take the gall and the belief, like, I've watched this too many times to not trust it. Yes. I'm going to go take the shot. And I think that was one of the best parts about what Williams did. Conviction and belief in himself with the pick.
I mean, zero doubt. Yeah, and confidence in the fact that he's done his film study. He knows the defense. He can cover 3 buzz. That's his responsibility down there. And then to break on the ball with absolute abandon, like, and know that I'm going to make this play. It is funny you mentioned that, too, because when we spoke to him at Cheesehead TV this offseason, he was on our show, Packer Transplants. I asked him, what's the one area you want to most improve on or in when you're heading into your second season? And he didn't even hesitate. He said, ball skills / being around the ball. Like, get more interceptions, get more pass breakups. Because I think last year you're swimming a little bit. You're a rookie, Obviously, he played well a lot of the time in his rookie season. But to see him come out so confidently and ball out and get an interception right out of the gate, I mean, that's outstanding, especially against a team that really gave them so much trouble last year. You love how that sets him up for the season.
It felt like that this team had a little bit saved up for this Detroit Lions team. If you remember last year, guys,
no doubt.
After we lost to them, they were all saying we want them in the playoffs. We want them. It never came to fruition, but it felt like they felt like they had an edge on them. So I think that is a recurring theme that I've been noticing, guys.
Yeah, and I also thought one of the really key factors into how the style of play went through, people say physically you beat the Lions at their own game. Sure. But I think you also didn't allow them to play the game that they beat people at. And that's playing 4-down football. Right? Like, I mean, they were 3 of 4 on 4th down, but in 2024, they scored 4 touchdowns in 2 games on 4th down plays against you.
Yep.
And to not allow, especially the first, that we've talked a decent amount about one of those early drives where it's a 16-play drive, 9.5 minutes, and ultimately a TFL kicks them out of position to try to go 4-2. They were ready to go for it on 4th down if it was inside of 4 minutes or inside of a 4th and 4.
Yep.
And you take them away and take away a little bit of their power and their intimidation factor. That was awesome.
Well, what I love about it too,
to get that off of the radar.
Billy, what that really speaks to and like is a direct, I think, line from, remember at the end of last season, Brian Gutekunst talking about we need to control football games. We need to be able to control football games. The Packers controlled that game almost through its entirety. And the fact that they did have those moments of, okay, here the Lions could really kind of make a surge here. In the past, that has usually been what happens, right? And on Sunday, the Packers just took control. Every time there was a momentum, like possibility of a momentum swing, Packers took control. And it's so funny to watch how that first half played out. I mean, from the opening drive to getting a 3-and-out, they were in control the entire football game.
And it's hard to keep a 3-down team from getting ahead of the sticks. That's like a 4-down team you're keeping from getting ahead of the sticks, which might be the most impressive thing about it. And I agree, guys, we've got some great safeties now, but I heard a little slander there. I'm not going to let you talk about MD Jennings like that and Atari Baker. All right, and Kentrell Bryce. Come on now. We've had some.
Hey, at least Atari Bigby made a play in a playoff game. I will give you that. But don't come up in here with MD Jennings.
He almost did.
Come on now.
He almost had a big play in week 3 on Monday Night Football. He almost did.
You trying to tell me Ladarius Gunter wasn't the guy? Sorry.
Poor Ladarius Gunter had a tough enough time when they made him go try to
I don't
Julio
like
Jones.
I hate the way Gunter gets slandered and talked down about.
I shouldn't do it.
I understand it, like, yes, was he toasted by Julio Jones in the NFC Championship game? 100%.
He suffered enough.
He had no business being in that position. He was a practice squad dude called up and like obviously did his best, balled out through the season. But the only reason he was starting that game is because they had 4 plane crashes and a train derailment.
And they were a victim of
he had to play.
Yeah, and they were a victim of their own success, Nags. Because it was like, well, why is he not Tremont Williams or St. Shields?
This is what we've seen in the playoffs. That is what occurs. These are the things that happen in Packers playoff games. Why is Ladarius Gunter not shutting down a Hall of Famer?
He'll have 2 picks for sure.
Come on.
It's still a rough day, but you're right. Hey, listen, at least I didn't bring up Marquand Manuel's name. Okay.
Yeah, you did. You did calm down. I'm glad that you reserved the Demarius Randall or Ahmad Carroll drop in there.
Hey, man, Demarius Randall should have been playing at safety. That's one of those always
should have,
will be. That's always one of those will be like what would have been kind of things if they had actually played in safety.
And he had floppy sleeves before it was cool. Now it's cool again. I kind of like that he wore floppy sleeves.
Maybe Randall would have been able to play safety if he wouldn't have left early that day. Is that a low blow? I didn't know.
I mean, maybe. I do like the floppy sleeve pull though, because on the flip side, we got to talk about like lateral choices, like Amon Green going from rubber to cloth in the armband, so he stops fumbling.
Because everyone thought that was when they got wet that was the reason the fumble.
Remember, I mean, I'll never forget Madden like circling. So he's wearing the rubber here, and that's caused me slippery.
It's driving me nuts
in the rain.
I remember that. Take them off.
Then the next week he had the white cloth, and they were like, well, see, he switched from rubber to the cloth, and then he fumbled. So it wasn't that.
There was a guy in my dorm blaming Red Batty. I'm like, do not blame Red Batty.
Red Batty. I love Packers fans. I love Packers fans.
Why is you giving him the bad pads? Can't keep the pads dry?
It's so good.
Right.
So good.
I mean, maybe he shouldn't fumble.
Oh, God. I love talking Packers. I love that we're back. I love Carry the G Radio.
So much fun.
I'm so happy. We're going to take a little break here, but on the flip side, we'll take some of your questions. We got people on the YouTube chat. I think you got some texts. We'll open up. We'll open up the floor, Billy. How about that?
Listen, people want to talk Packers with Aaron Nagler, and you can at 877-794-1973 as well.
God help us all. All right, we'll talk to you on the flip side. Go Pack, go.
to sell D. Won't even get pulled over in they new V. The good life. Let's go on a living spree.
Drew and KB here. Join us for another football feast. It's Wednesday this week. We'll be at the Buffalo Wild Wings location on Oneida Street in the shadow of historic Lambeau Field.
And we're going to give you a chance to win tickets to watch Green Bay play Washington.
Join us at 2, Drew and KB. Hey, it's Drew, and I have to tell you, I could not be happier with our new 97.3 The Game broadcast studio built by Reamer Remodel. It's been a game changer. If you have home improvement projects planned, Reamer Remodel is your go-to contractor, reamerremodel.com. Drew and KB here with our buddies, Rob and Chris from HappyPlaceHemp.com. Gentlemen, congratulations on your new product, the Drift Seltzer. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we're super excited about that. We've had it for a couple of weeks, and it's been in development for probably 3 months.
All the seltzers on the market that I tried were super packed full of sugar, and I wanted to make something that was sugar-free, alcohol-free, but that still makes you feel good. It's like a nice alcohol alternative and no calories.
0 calories. I am a big fan of that. Where can you find it? Is it at any retail locations? Do we come to your store?
Yeah, right now we've got it at the store in Muskego, and it's also at Ray's Liquor. We're going to be expanding that probably throughout the city and the state very soon.
You can buy it online too, happyplacehemp.com. We'll ship it right to your door. If you buy 3 or more 4-packs, we'll ship it for free.
With the code Drew and KB to get 25% off.
Yeah,
that's right.
Awesome. Now get 25% off your entire order with the code Drew and KB in store and online at happyplacehemp.com.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Miller High Life. Always flavorful, always refreshing, always at the right price. The champagne of beers. Welcome to the High Life. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Adam Pavlak here. Wednesday afternoons, I'm living the high life with Drew and KB. Thanks to my friends at Miller High Life. The champagne of beers, always flavorful, always refreshing. So join us, raise that bottle, and welcome to the high life.
This is Secret Clinical Dominating Extra Stinky Stress Sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT, because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard.
Work hard, play hard, and carry the G radio. That's what we do. That's what you should be doing, along with Billy and Armen. Talking about the Green Bay Packers, talking about the Washington Commanders, talking about the 0-1 Detroit Lions.
That sounds good to say.
It's been a good time. It's been a good time, but I want to hear what the fine folks out there have to say. You said you had a couple texts there, Billy. What's good?
So I got one of my favorite ones from our guy, Johnny Bag of Donuts in Tosa. Johnny likes to hit us up on the talking text line. Says, no BSers and carry the Gers. My 3 wishes after losing to the Eagles in the postseason. Boost up the O-line. First free agent move. Thanks. Boost the edge rush. Bank. Number 3, Super Bowl to be determined. The youth of this team and the growth together, plus free agency tweaks and positions to vie for championships. Lastly, why are drops counted as an incomplete pass? Love is being evaluated on stats, and they're just not true. Green Bay ranked at the bottom of drops. These need to be corrected. There needs to be no BS stats, and I do appreciate Johnny Baker saying that. We can find that one.
Nice.
It just puts you in 3rd and long, leading to more interceptions. Love needs to see the stats minus the drops with the rate of his drops and INTs. I don't know how to do all that mathematics. I don't know how to equate them out and change up what his completion percentage would do. I'll be honest with you, Johnny, I don't have time for it all.
Johnny.
What I do know is,
right.
and I think this is my favorite part of that answer and of that text.
Mm-hmm.
Who are 2 of the first guys that you saw targeted on the opening drive?
Wicks and Reed, who had tons of drops last year.
Who had a ton. And Dontavian Wicks is a 3rd and 10 laser beam right across the middle because he runs a perfect route. He's open at the right time. And you need to be trusted to catch the football if you're going to be open that much. Guy's kind of like 7-Eleven. Or more
Always
locally,
Always
more locally, like Quick Trip, even though there's a couple that are no longer 24/7, which I do not love.
It's
but
upsetting.
You know that he's going to be there. You know that he's going to have an opportunity. You got to trust to put the ball into his chest plate one more time. And I think that's the best part of what Love was able to do through the frustration of last year, and also into that first drive. 3rd down drops more than anything, Nags.
Drive
were the
killers.
Frustrating point.
Yes.
They were the drive killers, and he went right back to 2 of the guys that were main culprits for it in the back half of the season.
See, this is what we do here. We connect Packers fans because MPB MKE, well, that's a handful right there, on YouTube is absolutely spot on. Our boy here, he's talking about Johnny in his text, would love CPOE, completion percentage above expected. See, this is something you get into the deep dive analytics.
Sounds like
There's stuff out there for you. It's not my thing. It's not what I'm about, but he's right. He's 100% right. And here's the other thing, Johnny. You got to remember this. Like, you're frustrated at the traditional counting stats not like really reflecting on Jordan Love's actual performance, which I understand. But here's the fun part, Johnny. You get to know in your soul that you are a ball knower.
Yeah.
You know ball.
I like that.
You're able to tell people, well, you know, the stats say this, but actually XYZ, because you are a ball knower.
It would be tough, too, because you'd have to determine what really a drop is. And there's some.
And there's the thing. There's the rub.
You never know how leagues will change. I mean, the NBA just made a decision today that, like, last-second heaves won't count against the player's stats as a missed shot. So you never know how leagues will change how they designate things.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually big news.
It's a team stat now.
We used to give Rodgers all sorts of crap about that because it would be like sometimes he'd shy away from throwing that, you know, Hail Mary at the end of the first half, and it's like, oh, you're just scared of having another interception on your stats. And he swore blind that wasn't the case, but I that's the case.
I will admit, I mean, I used to be frustrated, and I used to be frustrated when they would talk about Rodgers' playoff record, but leave out the fact that he had earned like so many first-round buys.
Yes.
So then it was like, well, can't we just say those are all wild card wins? But nobody agreed with me on that. So I used to say we should give him a wins for those because
I like that.
Well, those are
essentially
those are essentially wins you've earned in the playoffs.
That's good stuff. That's going to be put onto our docket when we change how stats are actually counted, because we're also trying to change
how to do it.
Walks and stolen bases in baseball need to be total bases. Like, I think that drops can no longer be incomplete passes.
What are we doing, man? I'm too old for this. No, walks are walks. Come on now. What are you talking about?
Base
Total
on
bases.
balls. It's a total base. It's a base, and it helps me win money. That should be an easy.
Well, now we get to the crux of
Now you understand the point. Now you understand the frustration. We had another one here on the from the 262 in terms of the conversation of the Packers being in the mix. They're in the conversation for a lot of these players. They just finally were able to get it across the finish line with Micah Parsons, and maybe it's because they were a little bit more motivated because it's Micah Parsons.
They're set up.
When the Packers signed Calvin Benjamin, I was so pumped. A big body wide receiver.
What a pull!
That
Holy cow!
Was the answer. Like, that was it. You just wanted some kind of name, some kind of spotlight. And I do wonder if there were some folks that said and cautioned a little bit of their optimism. They weren't full drop the mop style like we were on No BS, because they're like, what if Jerry's right? What if he gets hurt? What if he gets hit by a bus? Like,
what if he can't defend the run?
What if he gets hit by a car and then I'm paying a guy who just got hit by a car? Is in jail. Like, they all went worst possible case scenario, like the 80-some-year-old.
What if he's an alien and his head opens up and as a spaceship comes out? Like, anything could happen.
That would be
like, I love this. I love that.
Even Mike Brown didn't think of that.
I know, right? We're just kind of conditioned as Packers fans to expect the worst possible outcome. Like, we are just waiting for the shoe to drop perpetually.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of that with all sports fans, but there's so true with Packer fans. I think the other thing that at least I've been guilty of when I was younger, but it's like when you're wanting other players or wanting to get these acquisitions, you remember the one good thing they did against you, so you assume that they have a lot more value.
Always,
yes. It's like when the Packers brought Terry Glenn in. Was that 99? I don't know what. I just
Mike
remember
Sherman. One of Mike Sherman's finest moves. Well, I like that move. I like that move made sense, unlike a lot of moves he made.
It excited me. I was like 15 because all I remembered was the deep ball he caught us against us in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, Terry Glenn, this guy's got to be awesome.
Gonna smoke fools. Yeah.
Right. So we do get into that sort of trap sometimes.
No doubt about it.
And if you go out to acquire players, just because you don't get them doesn't mean you weren't still involved in the right process of trying to get them. You're not going to get all these guys. So that's
I want to give a shout out to Tulio on our YouTube chat here.
Come on, Tulio.
He says, I wonder if Parsons will be the last one out of the tunnel again. I think he addressed this in the locker room earlier this week, and he said that that would be a one-time thing because Xavier McKinney was voted a captain, and McKinney said straight up, like, I have no problem with you going last this time, but I believe on Thursday night, I think it'll be McKinney going last because he's a captain.
Come on. No,
which I'm fine with.
Get the offense out here. Get the big boys announced. Come on. I want to see Rasheed Walker run through the damn tunnel
up there. Come on now. That'd be hilarious.
Sick and tired of watching all these pretty
guys. Rasheed Walker should be announced last.
Yes. Come on. Are you kidding me? Elton Jenkins?
Pretty boy position players.
The amount of time and service that Elton Jenkins has put into this team.
Come on.
This program, he should be announced last.
Should they rotate it like captains? Whoever gets to be last, like, how they used to rotate the honor a little bit, or
maybe, I don't know. I did like the fact that Tucker Kraft had the C on his chest. Like, there's certain guys that you want to have with the C on their chest, and all due respect to Elton Jenkins, I would give him the standing ovation that he deserves. I don't know that it would be the crescendo of the introduction, like number 10 from Utah State. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would be a bigger pop if it was number 8 from the University of Alabama. Maybe not this week with the Badgers going down there and about to pull off maybe one of the most stunning upsets in college football history, beating the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's Saturday at 11. Yep, Saturday at noon for you. Yep, right. You're gonna be treated.
I got my big noon kickoff in my world here.
Stunning move, maybe a stunning game.
Is that okay? Are you actually is that for real? Are you just talking up? Are you gassing it up, or are you really predicting that the Badgers are going to beat the Alabama folks?
Predicting absolutely not. I will say this. I will say this. A lot of times, Nags, I get myself to a point with all of my teams. I get myself to a point during the week that they're going to win the game.
Sure.
I am very excited for the point during the week that I get to when I think that the Badgers are going to beat the Alabama Crimson Tide. Like, because right now I'm saying a couple of things break your way. Kalen DeBoer fighting on the sidelines of certain players. All I want is there to be the point where there was with the Chicago Bears fans booing their team running into the locker room. Get a little bit of the consternation and the frustration onto their sideline. Then you take advantage of a situation and all of a sudden somebody blocks a punt and you scoop and score for a touchdown. You're down 17-13 and it's a big game.
How often are you going to quote the Favre thing that Saturday. Take back 5 of them flapjacks. I got to stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
Oh, that's one of the best ones. Yeah,
It's such a great pull from NFL.
And it is an ABC game, so I can kind of feel like Keith Jackson should be on the call.
Keith
yes,
Jackson,
100%. And I've just maybe it happens. Maybe, definite maybe. Definite maybe. Kind of like the maybe you threw out on Micah Parsons. When you throw a maybe out there on a player, that to me is holy cow. Nags might be in. When you put the maybe out there, did you believe that the Packers were co-signing maybe? Because again, all the reports now, we're getting 100%. All the stories. We're getting 100%. All the answers from people that the Packers were clearly like the first and seemingly most aggressive in this hunt to get Micah Parsons.
Well, I'll tell you this. I mentioned him before, Richmond Williams, that of the pro personnel group. I ran into him during my time in Wisconsin after the trade. And we were laughing because I texted him when the news was first starting to percolate, and he never returned
with
my
Ricky.
Text. No, well, yeah, around that, a little after Ricky.
Okay.
But he never returned my text, which they're never going to return your text.
Probably
I get
smart,
that. I understand that. Jason Waller's the head of PR, always likes to joke, I've traded them well. I'm like, okay, fine. But then I saw him there at Lambeau, and he was saying, it's so funny how little you guys probably realize, you guys meaning the public, the media, whatever, like how many of these conversations are always ongoing. Like he does, but he did admit, he's like, the problem, of course, in Green Bay is that so many agents use Green Bay to pump up the desirability or the excitement because, our guy is being sought after. Like we use the fact that the Packers made a phone call and pump it up into, the Packers have interest. So when you read through that a million times, it becomes, when I put maybe, look, I know they're going to call. There's no way they don't make that phone call. If that is even close to a possibility as far as being available via trade, there is no way on God's green earth the Packers don't make that phone call. So that's what that was about. It's like, maybe. Like, you never know. But this time it actually happened.
They were going to be in the conversation. I think Armen and I will give a good pat on the back to Armen and I. I think we were the only show on the station that continued to talk about it. And we were the only ones that did not laugh at other individuals for bringing it up. I think we were actually laughed out of the 5 Wide segment the one day because they're like, Jerry Jones isn't going to do that.
And you know what?
Interesting what happens.
Well, hell, Michael Irvin was on the air that morning talking about how it was never going to happen.
And we wanted to believe. Part of us, I think that was part of it, and that's okay.
Yes. A hope and a want and a desire for it to work out, and ultimately for them to make the move that's done the NFL universe.
Faith is the substance of things unseen, as they would say. Isn't that the bar? I'm trying to drop bars here. It's something like that. It's on a quote. I saw it once.
I also like that you just dropped a bar without using a massively big word, too.
Yes, I did it. Yes,
I did it.
I think I saw it above someone's kitchen counter or something like that.
You saw it in somebody's office in like one of those honestly, framed posters.
$1,000,000,000% thought you were about to say, I saw it carved on the wall in the bathroom somewhere, like somebody graffitied it.
Yeah,
a quick trip bathroom off 41, you never know.
Some staged house listing somewhere. I saw it, home is where the heart is, above the kitchen table.
Right there when you walk into Duke's on Water.
Yes. Man, it's been a while since I've been there.
Wow, we are really off the rails. I love it. This is like being on Cheesehead TV proper. It's good.
Trust us. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring all of that right here to the game listeners so that you see, holy cow, this is what I'm missing. This is what I'm missing on Packers Transplant that goes live tonight at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock your time, 5 o'clock Eastern, or as we like to say, 4 p.m. Lambeau time.
4 p.m. Lambeau time, 5 o'clock American.
There you go. Can't wait. Packer Transplants live. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we still got a lot of fun to have here. But I believe I hear music, and that means we have to take a break. And that means we got what? One more segment?
One more segment to play.
How the hell did that happen?
They said, is this only a 1 hour show? And then hour 2's over, and they're like, damn, it's only 2?
Unbelievable.
Maybe we do 22 next time.
Every week during the season, people, carry the G radio right here on 97.3 The Game, Cheesehead TV's YouTube channel. We'll be back after this to wrap things up and get ready for this showdown with the Washington Commanders.
Get ready to show your Packer spirit in a whole new way by turning Lambeau Field into a winter warning. Green Bay fans unite and wear white.
Match the players' white gear and let's show the Washington Commanders and everyone else a fury of white when they step onto the frozen tundra. Make sure your fit is white from head to toe with the Green Bay Packers Winter Warning Collection. Available now at the Packers Pro Shop or at PackersProShop.com.
If you or a loved one is ever hurt in an accident, don't call the first lawyer you happen to see on TV. Instead, call the law firm that's most qualified to handle the complexities of your case. Or call the firm that won the largest personal injury verdict in Wisconsin history. Or the one with the largest product liability verdict in state history. Or the one that has recovered more million-dollar results than any other firm in Wisconsin. It all happens to be the same firm. Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. Visit habish.com for more information.
For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law. Get the beer, get the win.
Nagging pain in your back, hip, shoulder, or anywhere in between? You've stretched, iced, rested, and it's still there. It's time for something that actually works. At Game Day Men's Health, they offer EPAT therapy, a non-invasive, FDA-approved treatment that uses pressure waves to trigger healing at the source. No pills, no needles, no downtime. Just targeted in-office therapy that breaks down scar tissue, boosts blood flow, and speeds up recovery. Drew Olson from 97 through the game. I tried EPAT for the first time for pain in my elbow, and honestly, it made a difference fast. No recovery time. I was back doing what I love. Well, I don't really love working out, but I was back doing it pain-free thanks to the EPAT therapy at Game Day Men's Health. EPAT has proven to treat pain in the neck, back, heel, elbow, hip, shoulder, ankle, you name it. No risk of infection, no side effects, and most guys see improvement in just a few sessions. Book your free consultation at GameDayMen'sHealth.com and get up to 33% off your treatment if you sign up in the month of August. With 5 area locations for Game Day Men's Health, you can heal smarter, move better, and feel stronger.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 111 East Kilburn, Milwaukee.
The Larrabee and LePage podcast.
And then there was that speed race coming out of Platteville. the Walter Payton, who was kind of a race car driver himself, at least at one point in his career, he used to win that race down the interstate all the way back to Chicago. And the state police would kind of just monitor it. They wouldn't ticket it.
The Larrabee and LePage podcast is presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Your win is waiting. Listen to other episodes available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a few spotty showers or sprinkles possible, but most areas will remain dry. High temperatures will range from the low to mid 70s with a south wind early, transitioning to the east out of the afternoon. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Lisa Michaels.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Milwaukee's home for the Packers and the flagship of the Packers Radio Network. We are 97.3 The Game.
Well, I'm a chicken fried, a cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Care of the G Radio wrapping things up, and I know Armen's new here, but man, we really,
Is it not what we do?
we really got to talk about the music selections.
All
here,
right,
Armen.
send me a list. I
It's
just
all right. Now, like I said, I know you're new. I
think you should. I think you should have played some
game.
Taylor Swift because Nags also will frequent in the Taylor Swift variety. Armen got to break the Taylor Swift news to us on the show when they got engaged.
You're not being sarcastic here, are you?
I like Taylor Swift a lot better than I like this. I'll tell you that.
Okay, I know. No Zach Brown band. Okay.
Big Huey Lewis in the news.
Huey Lewis in the news will work.
I know you like
Prince.
them.
Prince
I
will
was
work.
gonna- Prince. Got it. All right, we'll close with that.
That'll work.
Did we get Prince's government name correct in our appearance on the FM 106 morning show, Armen, of trying to guess the government names of the Super Bowl halftime shows?
Prince
Rogers Nelson. I don't think that was part of even the game there.
We guessed him a couple of times. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, his name came up, and I'm just like, I know that's a stage name. So I think I guessed Prince twice, and the only one I got right was Dr. Dre, which was kind of the easiest.
But he was born. He was born, like you said,
Prince Rogers Nelson.
So
That
that
was his full name.
That actually is the name. Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Wait, what?
100%. Prince Rogers Nelson.
You
That's
name
who
your
he
baby
was.
Prince, he's destined for greatness, right?
Gotta be.
You know?
Come on, how is he not? Speaking of,
I need to have another one.
I was almost there. Speaking of destined for greatness, a man who was great as a member of the Green and Gold and was finally recognized for that particular amazing stretch of football that he played in Green and Gold. Sterling Sharp will be honored during halftime of tomorrow night's game. His name will be included on the north side facade in Lambeau. I only want to say it is about damn time. Cannot wait.
It's going to be awesome to be able to see him honored. And I don't know how many times he's been back, right? Like, I don't know how many times if much
often.
at all, back into Green Bay. So for him to be there, that's going to be very, very special. I'm excited to be able to see the ceremony. And also, I'm just excited for it to be in the beautiful time of the year, right?
Yes.
70 degrees tomorrow night, winter whiteout. So
I mean, you didn't enjoy Brett Favre's ceremony where it was like one of the coldest, wettest, most horrible nights ever.
But also that was my fault. That was my fault because I also was there with I was very lucky to be there with my mom and my dad.
Right. Sure.
I was also there with maybe an ex-girlfriend that was from Chicago.
See,
yeah, and she was in an Urlacher jersey, so I might have been the reason why that
your fault.
That was my fault. That was my fault. Yep, that was my fault.
100% your fault. Well, you got to improve. You got to look at the tape and get better, and that's what you did. You upgraded.
Luckily, I did.
You have clearly upgraded, and you learned from your mistakes, and that's all you can ask of a young guy.
That's all you can ask of a young guy and a young player. And there weren't a ton of mistakes to be too correctable for the Green Bay Packers this past weekend, Nags. However, the few correctable errors in the run game to be able to get a little bit more of an established ground presence. One of the reasons why I got the Packers winning 27-21 coming up.
Ooh, 27
tomorrow night.
Okay. I was talking to Andy Herman this morning. He had the Packers by 10. I'm bullish on the Packers, obviously. I think this is a close one. I think the Packers win by 3. I think it comes right down to the wire.
They got to win by 4.
I got some bad news. I got some bad news for you, Billy.
Oh no, you're not picking the Commies cover.
Packers by 3. Yeah. Sorry, brother. That's just that's how I see it. Now,
well, luckily we haven't made our parlay of the day, Armen, that we can take Aaron Nagler's advice and go Packers money line tomorrow.
Indeed.
That feels like what it might have to be.
See, talk about coachable. Talk about taking the coaching. Well done, Armen. See, that's how we want to wrap things up there. We want to keep it upbeat. We ain't talking about no ridiculousness that we were entering this segment with. We are going out on a high. I love it. Absolutely appreciate it. And then we appreciate each and every one of you listening, watching on YouTube. We'll be back, I believe, during our normal time on Tuesday.
Yes.
Next week. Carry the G Radio each and every week throughout the football season. Billy, Armen, really, really love talking ball with you guys. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Love you, dude.
Drew and KB here. Join us at 3 o'clock today. We'll be